Hi. So we're going to show you how to do the assembly for the lower receiver. So you probably can get away without so many supports here, but it's not too hard to remove. So you can definitely just leave it as is. I'm using tree support with the auto generated setting with the Bamboo Lab Studio. So that's the support part. I'm going to skip of how I remove the supports here, but if anything, just watch out here. So that's for the magazine release to go in. So you can see a hole of a square here. Just watch out when you are moving the support here. So here, just watch out and make sure you clean that off neatly. And also here, the overhand here. So I'm going to remove this and then show you how to do the post processing. And here is MB textures designed, but this one here is only for left-handed. You can do the mirror, just mirror everything, and then you get a left-handed version. But I'm not going to dive into the detail for now. But here you're going to remove this. Just poke this out with a pointy tool. Okay, and here you got a built-in ring, so get that off as well. Here. Oh, and here, just watch out. I'm going to remove that first so that you can see, and then I'm going to face forward. Okay, so just remove this, like really gentle. Don't force it. Okay, so here you want to be careful, and here too, be careful. See, don't break this off. So just be careful. Yeah, that's it. It looks like so, and don't worry about getting it pretty right now because it will be covered by the muck barrel. So we're going to super glue them together here. So don't worry too much about the details here. Don't even sand it as long as it's clean, right? Then we're going to remove the support here. Okay. Okay, so you're gonna see some residuals of the removed support here. So just be careful of removing here. It should be easy to get that off the trigger guard here. Okay, so okay, here. So if I think it's good because it's hard to notice here, right? Once you assemble everything, the slide and the trigger, just make sure there's nothing here. I mean, just make sure you remove all the support here. Okay, so some of you may be anal about getting this side pretty. I personally wouldn't be worried too much about it because once you assemble all the stuff, it's hard to notice here, right? It's hidden in a shadow. But anyway, to get it pretty, it's possible. You just use the sanding paper or just use this, right? And then just sand it. Right after you sand it, have a quick pass of using the torch, right? Just make sure it's quick. And then you just rub it with your fingertip. And that should smooth everything out. Okay? Now, here is done. And make sure you use the strong enough material. If you are using like the silk filaments, chances are you're gonna have break here. I mean, if you drop the lower receiver to the ground, to the floor, then yeah, that's something may happen to you. Otherwise, it should be good. Okay, so let's move on to remove this, right? I know you're wondering why I'm even teaching you how to remove the support. Well, if you skip this part, then chances are probably you have to revisit the video here because right now you don't know the stuff we're doing here is important for the assembly of the slide stop here. So make sure you get everything out like so. Should be easy to clean, right? Okay, and then remove this part carefully. So from this side, so just really careful to break away. Don't break it here away, right? Just make sure you remove the support only. Okay, so don't remove this, right? So it look like this. Now moving on to here. Okay, and here. Yeah, it's really easy to break off. And for the white mark, you just have a quick pass of the torch and that should do it. So note that here we still have some support to remove here. That's just some stubborn pieces. Okay. Make sure the square hole here is cleaned like this. Okay, and make sure you were being careful of removing the support here, so don't damage here, right? Yeah. Okay, then just scrap the built-in brain off. Okay, it's ready. So I'm going to show you how to do the installation for the magazine release. First of all, we're going to show you how to do the non-TPU mods. So you need to print these two parts first, and then get yourself a small compression spring. You can refer back to the hardware list for the exact dimension. I was lucky enough to get it from one of my ball pens, but the free length is about 2 centimeters, so that's 20 millimeters. I'm going to cut it in half because the ideal length for this is 10 millimeters or 1 centimeters. The OD, the size of the spring is a bit too wide, but we're going to try it anyway. Chances are we can get away install this, right? So just drop it in like so. Oh, make sure you organize the end that was being cut like so. So just give it a little bit gentle twist, right? Keep the end in place like so. So it helps with the easier installation. And then just drop it in like this. Okay, so that part is ready. This is the anchor, right? So just drop it in, do the test fitting. Okay, it doesn't go all the way in, but it's okay. You can just double check here. Yes, the part will be used to anchor down here. Oh, yeah. So actually I installed it wrong. I should definitely get it like this. Like this. Right. So the end of the part that you just cut off should facing right hand side, the longer side here, right? And the shorter side is the end was factory made, right? You didn't cut it from this end. Okay, and then do the test fit of this. Okay, it's okay. If anything, if it's too tight or too snug, that the anchor, you cannot push the anchor all the way in. Don't worry about it. Just gently sand it here and here, this side here, and then more importantly, sand a bit here. Not like this, but with an angle. Just focus on the very tip here. The idea was to help with this, right? It's going to insert it all the way and block the spring. So if you can have some angle here, that would be great. Okay, so this part is ready, and we have tried the test fitting. So we're going to drop this into the lower receiver. So, right, like this. Make sure the open slot is facing upward, and the shorter side here, the longer side here, shorter side here, just go in like so. Note that the spring is a bit too big, too wide, right? So just make sure you do it patiently. Yeah, it's in place. Okay, and double check if you can see spring inside. Yeah, definitely you can see it. Now, it's a bit finicky here, especially for your first B26, but it's okay. I'm going to show you how. So just press this in a little bit. Just press this in a little bit. You cannot see here, right? So you are going to gently press that and wiggle it while doing the installation. Just help with this to go all the way in and block the spring. So, okay, right? So how to tell if you install everything correctly? So just press this all the way in and see if you can still see spring here. You can see a slot here, right? There will be a slot here, right? Here. If you see partial spring here, that just means you drop this in and cut the spring in the middle, which is not gonna work. So after installation, you want it to be like this, right? Press the button all the way in and you see nothing there. Okay, and then you just drop the magazine into place and see if it locked. Yeah, it's been locked in place, and then just press the make release to see if you can remove the magazine. For brand new magazine, sometimes it's not free falling, so it's not free dropping. So but for some like this, it's actually free dropping. So it's good, it's ready. So this is the magazine release with the TPU parts. It look really similar but still different. Chances are you may have to remove some brain on the side here. but there will be no support to remove. And then we just drop this in, and we have to make sure the slide is the slot here, the square slot here is aligned. So right now, I don't know. Oh yeah, it's not aligned. You have to make sure the slots are aligned. Why? Because we are going to drop in the TPU part here. So looking from outside is this position, okay? And then just a quick note: if after installation you think it's the button here, the make release here is not soft enough or too stiff, just cut the bridge here. Just cut it off so that it's gonna be softer, okay? And I designed this on purpose, right? So that's how you can hold this piece in place. So don't cut here off, right? So just make sure the slot align, and then you drop the TPU part in place, like so, right? And really couldn't hurt if you have this to help with the operation here. So just push everything in, like so. Just make sure it's sticking in all the way in, right? Like this. And make sure the slope of the TPU part is facing left-hand side, right? Just follow the shape of this, right? The triangle part, the slope is facing left-hand side. Okay, and then, yeah, in the beginning it's a bit stiff, but it's breaking nicely. If it doesn't break in, you just cut off the bridge that I just mentioned, right? And then still insert the magazine to see if it works. It's locked in place, no problem. And you can remove that freely. How about this? And then, yeah. So that's the TPU parts for the make release. Now, this is the lower receiver part B, and this is part A. So lower part B, you do have some support to remove, but it should be rather easy. So it's gonna be looking like this. You do have some slope here, but it's just for the look, okay? And I have to admit that this is not a perfect example here. I printed, but here I got some lift. So once assembled, it's not gonna be looking like this perfectly, right? It's gonna be, you're gonna see the gap here a little bit, right? But this should be okay. And test fit first. You're going to super glue them together. I designed some details on it so that you can make sure you know how to align this, right? Some details you have to align this. Make sure you find the right spot before you apply the super glue and get familiar with the geometry here, right? So, okay, I think it's ready. Again, I got a lift here, right? So it's not perfectly sitting flush like this. Okay, let's just use the super glue. When super glue dries, you got the white marks, right? So that's why we don't apply all the way to the edge. We only apply it inside here, right? Inside here. So when it dries or when it cures, you don't see the white mark, okay? But sometimes even with the white mark, you can get away by a quick pass of using the torch, but not always work, okay? So I'm going to face forward here. So just like that, you can apply just a little bit here, or don't, if you don't want to risk to have the white mark after drying or during the curing process. And use your thumb to feel if it aligns perfectly, right? And also double check with the details on the lower receiver to see if they aligns. Okay. So I already show you what kind of super glue that I use in the very first video, I believe, tutorial video. So okay, that's just the levy for at least half an hour in the summer and at least 1 hour in the winter. So don't do anything with it right now. Just set it aside for half an hour. I'm back, and I'm going to show you how to do the installation of this guy here. But before that, so just make sure you insert the magazine to see if everything still works after installation of this guy here. Yeah, it works. Also double check, touch the area here, inside here. There shouldn't be any problem because I already did some design here so that you don't have the problem. But just say if you do, right? Gently sand here the line that this part B and the part A joins, right? Just gently sand it if you got the resistance all the way up here. But make sure the resistance doesn't come from this guy here, right? So here. Okay. Yeah, everything is smooth. Free dropping. No problem. Okay. Don't expect all the materials will give you the free dropping of the magazine. So sometimes I designed it to be free dropping, but it's okay if it doesn't, okay? Because if the magazine is too loose after inserting into the lower receiver, then that will affect the accuracy. That's why I have this knob here to make sure it doesn't really rotate inside the magazine well here. Okay, so for the MOC barrel, so double check if everything is clean. It doesn't have to be pretty, because we're going to super glue the MOC barrel onto here. So get your super glue ready, and then remove the support first. Okay, so you can definitely deburr if you want it, but it doesn't really be hindering anything. So just do the test fit first to see if the MOC barrel can be sitting all the way onto the curve here. So if you can get it like this, it's perfect. And the barrel is kind of oval instead of a perfect sphere, so it's not you got a bad print. No, it was by design. Okay. Now the test fitting seems good, so we're going to apply super glue here, a little bit here, and here, just a little bit. You don't need to apply too much, otherwise you're gonna have white marks, right? So just a little bit. I'm going to skip here. Okay, so you can see the super glue is here, 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 and a little bit here, just a little bit, not all the way. And then just drop it. So it's gonna take maybe not just seconds, maybe, I don't know, a minute. So couldn't hurt if you can just hold it in place with your fingers. So just hold it for maybe just 1 minute, right? And make sure everything is sitting in place. Sometimes the tolerance can be loose, sometimes it's gonna be really tight. So if it's tight, then you don't have to hold it with your fingers, right? Okay, so that's that. Yeah, just leave it to cure for at least half an hour to 1 hour and just set it aside. It's a very last part to assemble, so that's the slide stop or slide release. You're gonna have support looking like this, and just remove it, right? Make sure you be careful, so don't damage here and don't damage here. And then you can just break off your the built-in spring with your hand. Okay, so it's gonna be looking like this. So make sure don't damage here and here. Okay, so we're gonna have two options for you. Depends on the setting of your prints and materials. You can try the loose version of this first, and then try the tight fit version of this. Sometimes you do have to try both to see which one works better. And then this is the slot that you're going to drop this part in, and just test fit if you got any problem. If you are choosing the tight fit version of that, chances are probably it's gonna be a bit too tight, so you do have to wiggle it and just get it break in. If it doesn't move up and down like this at all, that just means probably you got some support here that you didn't clean good enough, right? Just make sure everything is neat and clean. Okay, and we're going to drop a pin here using the technique as we always do, and then make sure you drop the pin here, it doesn't protrude out of the hole here, otherwise you're gonna have problem of the trigger here to move back and forth, right? So yeah, and before you drop the pins, just make sure you double check if the holes they are actually ready. So I would just drop the thread of the filaments just to double check if everything is, yeah, it's good. It's good. So here, good here, and good here, right? Yeah, it's good. So ready. Just put it in like this and so right now it's in place, the pin, right? And it doesn't protrude here. My suggestion to you is this is not good enough. You do have to utilize the technique that I taught you in another video. So you have to flatten the end here, because this will be moving a lot, right? Which it's gonna be affected by the vibration of the launching of the disc constantly, and also the motion, the action that requires this to move for the last round hole open function, right? So you do have to make sure the pin is secure in place. So always use that technique just in case of future maintenance, right? You can always have something really long and pointy and then get the pin out, or just use the tweezer, right? Use the tweezer and just go in with this angle and just push that in, and then you can get it out. Okay, So we're going to give you a squeeze to flatten the part and then just push that in. Okay, so right now it's in place very securely.